We have another week of reading the entire Amazing Spider-Man run. Right now, we should all be around issue 45-ish. Technically, probably around 42, 41 if you took out a day for AF15 for 2 or 3 annuals, depending on kind of where you're at, because annual number 3 comes up right around issue 42, 43. So we're kind of in that low 40s number, and I got 3 words. John Romita Sr. Boy, when he came in on the book, it gave it a whole new life to me, if that makes sense. I was talking with Josh, the local comic shop owner at Haven, about kind of what I'm doing. It's the first time I've seen him in a while because of traveling to Atlanta and COVID and things like that. And he's like, John Romita is, the way he draws it, is the way I envision Spider-Man. That's what I think of when I think of comic book Spider-Man. And I gotta say, literally, just that's 100% true. I love the Ditko stuff I've been reading, that we've all been reading. It's been really, really good. I love what he's been able to do. My favorite thing, I think, that I've not mentioned in the videos previously is the Spider-Man crotch light. Spider-Man shows up, he announces to the villain, "I'm here, here's my crotch light." And it's the funniest thing in the world. It reminds me of the bat signal, obviously, but instead of bat signal, "Come here, Batman, we need your help," it's Spider-Man crotch light, "I am here, be fearful." So it's pretty funny. We've been introduced to Gwen Stacy and Harry now. Ned Leeds is in this. I don't like anything to do with the Betty character. I think she's really lame, and I guess that's why we've never really seen her in any of the movies. But Ned Leeds is better in the comic than he is on the recent shows or the recent movies, because I can't stand his wig he's wearing. It looks weird and greasy and unnatural. It's interesting to start to see all these characters. To see Gwen Stacy, kind of this, she knows she's got it going on type character, but then she's kind of chasing after Peter a little bit. It's very interesting. And the big character reveal, I would say so far, obviously Harry or Norman Osborn being the Green Goblin, spoiler alert, and that was really interesting. But then to see Mary Jane come out, and she's like, "Hey, you've done it now, Tiger." I thought that was really, really cool reveal. One of my favorite things so far has been in the annuals, these pinups, and I'll play them while I'm talking, but just these pinups of all of the characters where, they kind of go through and describe about the character and the character design, and I just thought that was the coolest thing, and it made me want to go buy an annual number 1, which is the first appearance of the Sinister Six, and I'm like, okay, it can't be that expensive, right? It can't be that bad. All these characters have already appeared previously or a couple times beforehand. This is just the first, kind of team up. No, it is outrageous. People are selling like ripped up half covers for almost $1,000 on eBay. No way, Jose. But it is a really cool book. One that maybe after the Spider-Man hype kind of dies down, whenever that may be, one I definitely would like to own in my collection. But all in all, I thought it was very interesting when Romita picked up. Nobody mentions anything about it, and anywhere in any of the books, that Ditko's just gone. Josh was telling me that there was a feud, and my brother-in-law Logan, who's also reading this with me, said there was kind of a feud between Ditko and Stan Lee, and kind of a falling out. So I'm going to do some research on that because I think that's really interesting, and see if I can find some more information on it. All in all, like some really cool things. I'm going to throw up some of my favorite panels so far that I've kind of screenshotted as I've read. A lot of them are going to still be those pinups, but there was one specific one I screenshotted. So it was the first time that we saw Thwip being used. I believe this is the first time. I screenshotted it. I don't even remember the issue or the number. I just know the panel here. And when I saw it, I screenshotted it because I thought it was very, very neat. Because that's kind of what we all think of, like in the comic book, Spider-Man Thwip. And to see that on the panel for the first time, or at least the first time I realized it, I thought it was pretty cool. But so far, the villains, they're getting very interesting. I am seeing a very big, and I guess not a very big, but a considerable change in the way it was with Ditko and Stan versus Stan and Romita. I feel like we're getting a continuous storyline, so to speak, versus earlier on, it was just like, okay, villain of the week, villain of the week, villain of the week. Oh, you guys wrote in and you like the Vulture? We'll put him in this book. And I feel like now we're kind of getting a bit of a continuous story with like the Rhino. Like he's appeared in a couple of issues back to back now. We're starting to see a development of his personal life a little bit more with Gwen and Harry and some of these other ones, and really starting to get some more of his emotions versus just kind of being a smart but young kid. I do like him better in college versus the high school. Jones Jameson is continuously the most annoying character so far, but like rightfully so. That's what he's supposed to be doing, right? He is, I don't want to say the ultimate Spider-Man villain, but kinda. I mean he's been like the biggest nemesis of Spider-Man since literally almost issue 1. I think actually issue 1. So far, really good. It's gotten easier to read it since Romita picked up. I think that's a big thing because, I told you guys, like, I read fast and I can get through a lot of issues. And I started on this and everybody told me, like, you're not going to be able to do that. And I absolutely was not able to do that. And, Logan, he's already like 90 issues in, my brother-in-law. And he's like, it gets so much better when Romita's there. You're able to actually, like, power through. And that's kind of what I'm seeing now. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. So far, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more now with Romita. I'm excited to see kind of where they go with Gwen. I know we're getting close to the Kingpin. Literally, we'll be there in just a few issues, so that's super exciting. And then I know the annuals also kind of reprint some stuff, so we'll be able to kind of skip by some of that stuff at some point here soon. But think about it this way: every 4 days nearly, you're reading an entire year's worth of Spider-Man comics, about 12 issues. And I think that's very, very interesting because at this point we're mid-40s, and if they're doing 12 issues a month, give or take, and I know they didn't do it at the beginning, but just for the sake of easy math, right around issue 60, we'll have read 5 years worth of Spider-Man. I think that's crazy to think about in just a very short amount of time. So we'll end up reading, 30 days, about 90 issues a month, which again sounds like a lot, but 3 issues a day isn't that bad. And that's almost a decade worth of comic books in a month. So pretty neat there to put that into perspective and kind of really understand the growth of, it seems like 2 weeks ago we just started and Peter Parker's already into college, but that's a lot of growth, right? I mean, these readers back during the 60s, they were waiting a month or two between each issue. So very neat, super excited about it still with Romita coming in. I mean, I was literally looking at it and talking to Logan. I'm like, man, this literally looks like a total world of difference, and I love it. I really do. I am absolutely, I love the way that Romita is drawing it, and not just Spider-Man, but the background, the villains. I like the way he draws Peter Parker better, like just Peter Parker, not a Spider-Man. But one thing we've been missing, man, is that half Peter Parker, half Spider-Man look. I've really been missing that. I think that's like iconic Spider-Man, at least from the early on days, right? And I think it's maybe been a minute since Ditko did it too, but I think they should bring it back. I don't know if, obviously, I mean, it's already done, but I thought that was really cool. And yeah, so crotch light Peter Parker, the first time they said thwip, the pinups, loving Romita's art. And then we're going to dig a little bit deeper into this Romita Stan Lee feud and kind of figure that out a little bit. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. You're the best part of Two Brothers Comics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share out. Keep at it. It's okay if you miss a few days. I missed a few days and had to go back and reread, dealing with this snowstorm coming and stuff like that. But it happens. It happens. It happens. But don't forget, as always, collect your way.